Hi, everybody. This is day 16 for November the 9th, 2023 of Imagine a Miracle Every Day. So, if you have been imagining these miracles every day, you have already been having amazing activation of your own Christ power. I'm sure you've seen that. And this day, for day 16, which will be for November the 9th, we are going to be imagining the miracles that Jesus did from the chapter Luke 4, 31 to 41. Here it is right here. Jesus casts out demons and heals many. Starts with, and came down to Capernaum, a city of Galilee, and taught them on the Sabbath days. So I guess you all know that there was a big discrepancy with Jesus. So you got to imagine that here he goes to the synagogue, and now he is going to teach on the Sabbath days, and they were astonished at his doctrine, for his word was with power. So this is another thing about Jesus, and this is another thing about you. You have power. So as you speak the words of Jesus, you definitely will be feeling the power, activating your power, having the power come through you. Speak those words. Plus, you'll be able to speak these same words over your own self, over your own life, over other people. If people start saying things to you that you don't like, you can rebuke them in your own mind, and it will free up your own energy so you don't get pissed off, triggered, angry, frustrated. Use these words, and here we go. And in the synagogue there was a man which had a spirit of an unclean devil. So everything that happens has something to do with spirit. It's because there's the spirit world, the invisible world. That's the world that Jesus is really trying to tell everybody. Pay attention that the spirit world has dominion, dominance, power, and authority over this material 3D world. This is what you are being told. So if you're watching this, you're being told that right now. And this person with the unclean devil cried out with a loud voice, saying, "Let us alone. What have we to do with thee, thou Jesus of Nazareth? Art thou come to destroy us? I know thee, who thou art, the Holy One of God." So you can imagine that he comes up, that he's in the synagogue, and that here's this man. And you can imagine that the man standing there, if you're portraying the part as Jesus, you can imagine that he's standing there and he's saying this stuff like, "I know who you are." And you probably have had other people who came in your face and said that too. "I know who you are," and blah, blah, blah. So instead of getting angry, what he says, and Jesus rebuked him, he's saying, "Hold thy peace and come out of him." And a lot of times, since I've been practicing this, I will say that in my mind to other people when they start talking crazy to me. I'll be like, in my mind, I'll say, "Hold thy peace and come out of him." Because the person is obviously not coming from a high place. They're coming from some crazy place. You can hear it in yourself too. I've heard it in my own self. And when the devil had thrown him in the midst, he came out of him and hurt him not. So you can imagine that the man, had something where he appeared to be thrown in the midst, but the devil came out of him and hurt him not, as is in the case of all of these miracles. All right, so that's one. And down here in 36 it says, "And they were all amazed and spake among themselves, saying, What a word is this? For with authority and power he commandeth the unclean spirits, and they come out." Well, that's what's important with you. You have authority and power. You got to understand that part. You have authority and power, so you can command the unclean spirits in yourself. That's what I do. I've just started like telling myself, whatever thing that's in me, I command thee, come out, never to come. I charge thee, and enter no more into me. And I really can feel that it comes out. Like I'm getting here. I feel like I am being transformed every day, and this is what will happen to you. "And the fame of him went out into every place of the country round about. And he arose out of the synagogue and entered into Simon's house. And Simon's wife's mother was taken with a great fever. and they besought him for her. So now you got to imagine that they go over to Simon's house. His mother's laying there in the bed. His mother-in-law is laying there in the bed, and then they say, "Jesus, please, can you help?" And then he stood over her. He stands over her, and he rebukes the fever. You could use the same words as in one of the other miracles. Like he might have said, "I charge thee, fever, I charge thee, come out of her and enter no more into her." So these are words you can use to command in your own life things. So you got to imagine that he stands over her, he rebukes the fever, and it left her. And immediately she arose. You can see her getting up out of the bed, feeling really good. She wasn't feeling good before. Now she has been healed, and she starts ministering unto them. Now, when the sun was setting, all they that had any sick with divers diseases brought them unto him, and he laid his hands on every one of them. So here's where what I do is I imagine that he lays his hands on every single person that they bring, no matter what the condition. He lays his hands and heals every one of them. So imagine that I can see it in my mind. They bring a person, he lays the hands, they are healed, they walk away, they're happy. And devils came out of many, crying out and saying, "Thou art Christ, the Son of God," and he rebuking them. This is what's really important. One of the ones I got later after I was reading this several times. And he rebuking them, suffered them not to speak. He was like, "Shut up. Don't speak. Just get out." For they knew that he was Christ. So here is an amazing couple of miracles. And when it was day, he departed and went to a desert place. The people sought him and came unto him and stayed him that he should not depart from them. But he said unto them, "I must preach the kingdom of God to other cities also, for therefore am I sent." And he preached in the cities of Galilee. That's the end of that one. And, sort of like I feel the same way about him. Like I feel like something's in me that has me even want to even share these miracles because I've seen them work on miracles in my life. Matter of fact, I had a miracle today. I went to a store, and the lady who was the cashier, her name was Miracle, and it was on her badge. And I thought, oh my God, this is the third miracle I had all week. And with that, imagine your miracles, know you have the power, and see you tomorrow.